Uh, Today also we are gonna one more wonderful session. Today's session is UiPath UiPath VBA apps. So it's by Harika, and I would like to say thanks for Niklesh for bringing these kind of sessions. Each session having different topics, and I'm also thanks for to make me one of the part for this session. And I would like to add one more point here. Initially, we are once we confirm this series, we added our LinkedIn post. We are added this series registration links and all in our LinkedIn post. So once we added on LinkedIn post, so I received few of the messages like the series name is like a woman pioneering automation developer series. So it's only for women. No, Baba, no. It's not only for women. It's for everyone. We are just telling people, we are just showing the people like how women are happily and successfully being as a part of automation. So these sessions are not only for women. These sessions are for everyone. And these all sessions are free. And you can, there are upcoming sessions or there are 3 more upcoming sessions. You can register. We will providing those links on the chat. So please do register those also. And yeah, today's session, as I said, it's interesting, and please be concentrated. As you all are know, we are having a quiz at the end of the session. So please be concentrated. Interesting goodies are waiting for you. And I'm handovering this session to Spandana. She's one of our moderators. Yeah, over to you, Spandana.
Hello, guys. A warm welcome to everyone. First of all, thank you so much for the amazing response on our day one and day two of this Developer Series 2.0 powered by Women on Automation. And my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers Nikhilesh Garu, Vibhor, and Rohit for making me a part of the series. Myself, Spandana Sangita, I started my IT career afresh with RPA UiPath. I'm working as an RPA developer in Sutherland Global with 2 years of experience. Thank you, Niklesh, for being my mentor and pushing my limits every time. You have been a great support for the community as well. And I would really wanted you all to know that you can find the recordings and many other community related stuff with the Niklesh channel. So I have provided the link of the same. Please do enroll and subscribe, like, share, and hit the comment button. And thank you so much. I would hand over it to Harika now.
Thanks, everybody. That was a great introduction about the session. So, first of all, thanks everyone who have joined here and be there. I think most of you have enjoyed the session, yesterday's session, which is a day two on UiPath apps. If so, then definitely you will thoroughly enjoy today's session as well. But before we actually get into the session and see what are the more technical things that we will learn, I just wanted to give a quick introduction about myself. I'm Harika. I have overall 7 to 8 years of experience close to. So I'm working as a UiPath developer in Metro Global Solution Center. And yes, as I talk more about myself, but before to that, I just wanted to do a screen share and give a bit about the session that we are going to see today. I am gonna do the screen share. Just let me know once after you can see my screen. Can someone confirm me if my screen is visible?
Yes, it
Yes.
is
Yes.
visible.
Yeah. Okay.
Harika.
So yeah, as my team has mentioned about the series, so this is the day 3 of the series, which we are going to see is on UiPath VB apps. And not only that, we are also going to see the one more advanced feature that UiPath VB apps has gotten for us, which is going public. So till now, we are only having the apps that we can share within our organization, but now we have the feasibility we can share across. And as we pass through the session, I'm also going to share the app that we create in the session to all of you. I hope so you all can enjoy it and have it, as a memory of this particular series or session. So, and the most important thing. So thank you so much for UiPath community for coming up with this idea, and Bots Infinite for supporting it and sponsoring the event. And yes, so definitely I wanted to extend my thanks to my team and the organizer Niklesh, because these are the people who you do a lot of work in the background. So as a speaker, I have seen the moderators and the organizer have done a lot in order to get this event to you. So thank you so much, Niklesh, for coming up with this idea and getting all of us together to work on this innovative idea, and Vineela and Spandana for supporting it and being the moderators. So throughout the session, Vineela and Spandana will be helping out with all the details about the session, like where all you can get the recordings and all that stuff. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions. Yes. A little bit about me again. So as I've mentioned that I work as a senior RPA developer, and apart from that, there's a lot more about me that I wanted to share with you. So I also do a lot of stuff besides my professional work experience. So I have a passion towards giving webinars, especially the technical webinars. So I have collaborated with many community team members, and I have given a lot of webinars on technical contents, and I have given training for a lot of colleges and college students. So I have associated with APSSDC and Government of India for few trainings, and also recently, if you have idea about Stanley College, so I have trained few college students from Stanley College. And besides this, I also run a YouTube channel where I update, a lot of recent updates from UiPath, and I have a lot of playlists also on my channel where I talk about. So if you see, this is my channel where you can reach out to. So my team will also provide you the link, so you all can connect with me. You can learn a lot from my channel. So by the time I have taken the snippet, you can see already there are 258 videos. So I believe that I have given enough content for people to learn from my channel, and I also strongly believe those are useful in some or other way when you're working in your projects. So, and I would definitely love to hear your feedback as well. If at all you have gone through my channel already, learned something from my channel, and if at all you're someone new, do consider subscribing if you like the videos and if you found them useful. And I'm also an active participant in the LinkedIn. So you can also reach me out if you have any questions or queries. We can connect all the time in LinkedIn, because that's in where we all professionals get to meet each other, the new people every single day, right? So you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn as well. I am super comfortable talking to you, knowing your concerns, and if you have any idea, I'm open to collaborate and work together. Yes. So that's all about me. And yes, so before we get into the session, I would like to ask few questions and wanted to know more about audience. So how many of you have attended yesterday's session on UiPath apps? So you can raise the hand. I can see the count and I'll get some idea. Okay, I see good count. Nice, nice. So then definitely this will be a productive session for you all. Okay, nice. Thank you so much. So I can see a good number of people have attended yesterday's session. So this is UiPath VB apps is a next level. We can say it has taken up the advantage that we have with UiPath apps to the next level. Okay, so like if I have to differentiate what is UiPath apps with what is UiPath VB apps, because yesterday when I was there in the session, I see a lot of people asking question about what is VB apps and what is legacy app, right? So usually this kind of question will arise if at all we are working with UiPath apps. So I don't wanted to give you a definition kind of stuff to differentiate, but rather I will show you on the screen how VB apps differs from the legacy app. So we will see how we can create all this stuff and what are all these. But before to that, let's get into some more details about VB apps. Okay. So I'll just give a small, introduction, because I also don't want it to go through so much theoretical, but rather I will prefer more kind of use cases and demos of such thing of that sort. I believe the audience also want that. So yes. Okay, so before to that, if at all you have some experience in UiPath, if at all you have done some projects, definitely I believe you might have come across some or other VB expressions in order to do some computations or logical operations or mathematical operations, right? So just wanted to know from the audience, you have some idea or you have encountered something of that sort, yes or no? Maybe you can raise the hand quickly. Great, great. So then you already know what is a visual basic expression, VB expression, right? So these are basically operators, some constants or some of the, variables that we use, some functions that we use in order to perform these calculations, right? So let's say I'll just give a small question. You can just reply me in the chat if at all you, because guys, I'm asking a lot of questions because I want this session to be as interactive as possible. Okay, so that these questions will help you to grasp a lot of knowledge, and also by end of the session you will be very much confident that you can answer the quiz questions as well. So don't think that I'm asking a lot of questions, but yeah, this will help you in turn. Yes. So my next question is, if at all you're using VB expressions, let's say if you're doing some actions or calculations in order to extract something from a string. Okay, so string manipulations, right? What kind of VB expressions or what kind of functions you have used? You can just reply me in the chat. Any one two VB expressions that you have used while extracting some data from the string? Just open up my chat. Substring, okay, great. And replace substring split index of, okay, yeah, perfect. So that's what VB expression is. If at all you're already a UiPath developer, then definitely I assume that there's at least a single project that you have come across where you used VB expression. So that's what VB expression is. If at all we combine this VB expressions into our apps, because in the legacy we don't have this feasibility, so if we combine both of them, that means UiPath has brought the leverage to combine VB expressions with apps. So that's in where we call it as UiPath VB apps. So the definition is simple, right? So not only string manipulations, this is some small example that I've given because everyone can relate it with. But apart from string manipulations, we use a lot of them, right? Let's say we use for mathematical, we use add, subtract, right? All of these are the different VB expressions that we use in order to perform certain tasks or calculations. So this feasibility UiPath apps has got for with along with the VB expressions. So together we call it as UiPath VB apps. So now you got the clarity what a legacy app will be and how it will be differentiated with the VB apps, right? You can say yes, so that I'll understand that it's clear. Yes, no? Great, yes. Great. So now, so that's our first thing, right? Let's get into the next part. Okay, so we've discussed all of this. So what is the VB apps? What are the perks of using VB apps? It is simple in order to do the computations. It is efficient, performance wise it's good, code reusability is there, and mathematical and data manipulations can become easy, right? So that's it. Enough of PPT, and I'm going to show you everything practically what is there on my screen right now. Okay, so if you just see this first liner, now we have seen till VB expressions, and now I'm going to combine it with UiPath apps. So if you see here, what are the perks of using VB expressions in the UiPath apps? So if you see the first liner, it will set the property values of app elements such as labels, text boxes, drop down. Okay, for example, you can set the text of the label dynamically, right? So as soon as you enter the text, it's going to change dynamically and also based on certain conditions. So how do we do that? So let's get into the, and also I wanted to mention one more thing. Whoever have their laptop, whoever have connected from your laptop, I would recommend 100% to just open your orchestrator and try to do it along with me, because that will give you so much confidence, and also you will run into problems, you will run into issues. That's where you will learn more about the content. Okay, so yes, I'm going to show you the features of the UiPath VB apps. Okay, so here's my app. I hope everyone can see my studio orchestrator app. Yes, thanks.
Yes, it's loading.
So okay, fine. So now if you see, I am going to show you this first liner practically. So it sets the, let's come from here. You can set the text of the label dynamically based on certain conditions or calculations using VB expressions. So how is it possible, right? So if you see here, please enter your name in the about text box. Okay, so I'm going to enter my name. So if you see, the value got changed. Hello, Harika, right? So this property, this is more feasible. So as soon as I enter the text, the data is changing dynamically. So how is it possible? So let's see what I have written in the background and how it is changing. So if you see here, I think yesterday the speaker has explained more about controls. What is this control? What are all of that, right? And before getting into this, I also want to ask one more question. Be ready in your chat. Okay. So um, yesterday there is a scenario. There was a use case. She explained that if you enter your name, right, in the first name, last name, what is the property, right? What is the property that she has mentioned in the right side, from where you will fetch the value entered by the user? What is the property? Anyone can explain? Anyone can just put in. Text box is the control, but in the text box towards the right side, so you can see here there's a default text, tooltip, like that. There's a property. What is that property? Variable? No, no, no. Even though the answers are not correct, but I would love to see the responses. Yes, value binding, exactly. So we use value binding. That property will hold the value. It's actually the concept, right? The value binding will hold the value that is entered by the user, right, in the text box, and that we will assign into an app variable to use it throughout our workflows. But if you see here towards my right, I cannot see any of such thing like value binding. So how do we retrieve the value that's entered by the user? Okay, first question. And how do we utilize that in the in the expression, in the label? I'm showing the value in the label, right? Whatever the user is entered here, I'm showing it over here. So how I'm changing it? So that's the second thing. These both things I'm going to show you now. So firstly, the value that is entered by the user here in the VB apps, we are going to extract by using a syntax that follows a structure. Okay. So here, if you see in the expression, I'm going to show you. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to take a label to keep it simple for you. Okay. I'm just taking a label here. So this label, okay, this label should show me the value entered by the user, right? How do we extract the value? So here, if you see towards the left, there is a tree, right? So the value is entered here. So to come here, we have to follow the syntax. This text is inside main page, right? So just give main page dot, there's something called text, right? This is the text dot value. That's it. This will retrieve the value entered by the user. Okay. Okay, this will retrieve the value entered by the user. So you can also rename this if you think that text is more generic. You can just rename to name. Okay, so you don't have to worry about renaming here, it will be automatically renamed, just like how we do it in the studio. If you change the variable name, it will be automatically shown. Okay, so this is clear, right? So the next thing is, there are two expressions. So if at all I remove this, it is telling please enter your name, right? So we all know about the inline if statement, right? If condition is true, it will give the first value, otherwise it will give the second value. So I've just written the inline statement. So how did I do that? If string dot is null or empty. So again, is null or empty is a string function, right? It's a VB expression. String dot is null or empty. So what I'm checking it with, if there is no value in this particular text box, then I'm just telling please enter your name in the about text box. Otherwise, I am entering hello, whatever the name entered by the user. Clear till this part? Yes. Clear? Yes, no, yes. Okay, thank you. Next, so we have done our first thing. And also, I think this is also clear. We have used if, then, else, these controls in order to display the content, right? So we have covered these both pointers. And the next thing is we can control the visibility, enable or disable the status of the app element based on certain conditions, right? We can control the visibility. So how we can control the visibility? So if you go back here, I'm trying to click this button. So if you see, this is disabled. This button is disabled. I'm not able to click. Once after I check this, I say that I agree to the terms and conditions, then it's enabling. We usually encounter this kind of scenario when we, trying to sign in or trying to subscribe. We will, it will ask to check the checkbox. Only then that particular button is available, the submission is available. This is the most commonly encountered scenario, right? So how do I enable or disable this particular this particular button? Okay, so how did I do that? Any idea? Same thing, like I have taken a checkbox. The control that I've taken is a checkbox. Okay, I've pulled the checkbox here, and so the value that is entered by the user is important. I'm retrieving the value entered by the user. So for text box, I'm using this tree, right? Main page dot name dot value. Similarly, for the checkbox, if at all you wanted to, fetch the value, right? So if it is, it's a Boolean value actually. Here it is a string. Here it's a Boolean value. So in the button, properties of the button has, something called disabled. So if you enter the value here, so basically what happens is, so basically if you see here, you can just remove this whole thing and just say false. That means disabled false. That means that is enabled. We are not disabling it. If you keep it true, we are telling that this is disabled, right? So I just kept it dynamically by retrieving the value of the checkbox, right? So this value will be based on the output of the checkbox. So if the checkbox is checked, that means if it's true, I'm going to show you here clearly. So first thing that you need to understand is how to retrieve the value from the checkbox. So that is same, main page dot checkbox dot value dot toString. Okay, so basically this will be either true or false. If this is equals to true, that means if the user checks the checkbox, I don't want to disable it. That means false, don't disable it. Otherwise, true, right? So that is the thing that we are doing over here. So the same inline if statement we are using, and we are setting up the conditions based on the value entered by the user, whether he's checking it or not checking it. So just simple, we have to understand the, the logic behind it, and we just have to utilize the VB expressions in order to display or not to display. So that is the second thing. Okay, just I'm enabling, and then this button is available for me to click. Let's go to the third one. Okay, so here the third one is, this is the text box, right? But here in this text box, if you see, I'm asking the user to to enter the automation tools that you're familiar with. Okay, and if you see here, I am not having any results. So this values, whatever I'm getting displayed here, are dynamic. That means if I enter the values here, those values will be retrieved and we can see them over here. So let's say I will enter the automation tools as UiPath, Robocode, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. Okay, so these are the tools that I am familiar with. Then it is asking me select the tool you are expert at. I am looking at the drop down. If you see, it is giving me all the tools that I have entered, right? So if I'm expert at it, first I should be familiar with it. So first it's asking me what are all tools that I'm familiar with, and later it's giving me the options to select. Not just that. So let's say if I'm telling I'm expert at UiPath, it is giving me you're expert in UiPath. Okay. So this is the this three things, right? So first thing, I'm entering all the values, and then all the values that I've entered or displayed here. So let's say if I'm thinking like Blue Prism, I don't know that much. You can see dynamically the value is changing, right? So that's what we are trying to learn here. So I think this is the most interesting part. I'll showcase you how we are actually doing this whole thing step by step. So if at all there is anyone who is trying to do this, then definitely I will suggest you do it in the session itself. Then you will have a lot of questions where we can have an discussion as well. So first thing is, okay, let's go step by step. First thing is user entering all the values here. Okay. And so I'm just taking a text box and I'm retrieving this value. So now I have a question for audience. The user is entering the values here. How do I retrieve the value from this text box? What is the syntax for retrieving the value from this text box? What is the syntax for retrieving the values from this text box using VB expression? So we have seen it, right? How the user extracted the value from this name, main page dot name dot value. So in the same way, this is also a text box. How can we fetch the values? What is the syntax to fetch the values from this text box? No response. Split, no, not split. Yes, correct. Main page dot exits dot value. Correct. So if you see here, here we are retrieving using main page dot name dot value. Similar way, right? Main page, and it is inside the text 6 where the user is entering the value and dot value. So the from here we will retrieve all the values that user has entered. Okay, so that is the first thing. And so if you see here, the values that I'm entering are separated with a comma, right? These are separated with a comma. So after entering those values, I will fetch them, I will store them into a particular variable. So what is that variable? If you see here, I've created a variable. So the variable name is array of tools. All the tools that I am good with, I am fetching into an array of tools, and that is array of the text. So similarly, just like how we will fetch the array of string in the studio, same way we are having array and the type is of text. Okay. So I'm taking all of these values into this. So first thing, whatever the user is entering over here, I'm taking that value and I'm saving it over here. So how that alignment is done, how that assignment is actually done. So I'll show you that. So here in the right side we have something called events. If you go inside, we have set value. There's an event called set value. Okay, so I'm taking the values entered by the user, main page dot text 6 dot value dot toString, and we all know the split function, right? A split function of the string. So I'm splitting all of those values where the delimiter is comma. Okay, and I'm saving that into an array because this returns an array of text, right? So I'm saving that into an array, right? So this is the first thing. And how I'm passing that over here, this is quite simple, right? So once after I have that array, I'm just passing that into this second thing, into the drop down. So how I'm doing it? Just going into the general. Here there is something called list source. Okay, so you should remember this particular syntax. So which is, this requires a list source, because it, if you're giving some values, it is a list of data, right? You cannot give a single data into a drop down. If you have a drop down, user have to select it from the list. So we are taking apps data source dot from where, from this particular array of tools. So we just assign the value into array of tools where all the values are entered by the user. We're separating with a comma, and then we are taking that, right? So this is a syntax that we use. So what happens once after the user enter here, there will be an event that happens which will set the value, the assignment done, and then we are passing those values by using this particular syntax. Clear? This is quite simple. And the next step, which is the third step, what is it? We are mentioning the user here. You are expert in UiPath. That means whatever the user selects here. Here I'm selecting UiPath, RoboCorp, or Power Automate, right? So I'm selecting Power Automate. So as soon as I select that, the user can able to see it dynamically. The value is getting changed dynamically. So how we can actually showcase this value? That is the next question. So the value entered by the user. So we have seen, if the value is provided by the user here, we have main page dot name dot value. If it is from here, main page dot text 6 dot value. In the same way, if it is from a drop down, right, user will not enter the value, but he will select the value, right? So how do we do that? It's quite simple. We are using main page dot, from the drop down dot selected item, right? The user selects a particular item. The syntax is main page dot drop down dot selected item. Okay, so that's the syntax. And this is a normal if condition. If there is nothing, user didn't select anything, it will be empty. Otherwise we are just giving you are expert in this particular string. Cool, clear till this point? So first thing, we are just providing all the data, and we are fetching that, and we are splitting it and storing into an array. Whatever we have stored in an array, we are passing it into the drop down. Whatever there is in the drop down, we are fetching that using a syntax. So these three things comes under the same logic. Is it clear? Yes. Okay, great. So let's go to the next part. Yes, we can define the values, and also here we can see enable the dynamic content generation within your app. For example, you can use populate drop down options dynamically on the data and from the external source, right? So this is what we have seen now. So this is about the different features that we have. Apart from that, we also have something called email ID and the masking things. So I'm going to talk about these things as well. So basically, so let's say I'm giving, it's asking me my email ID. Okay. So let's say if at all I am providing some email ID which is very old, like if at all you take up yahoo.com. So if you see here, it's showing it allows only certain domains. So it will be allowing only either gmail.com or uipath.com. Apart from that, if you're giving any other information, it's not going to allow, right? So that, how did we actually customize this? How do we actually get this done? So let's get to the features again. So if you see here, it's quite simple. If you take here the text box, there's a feature called text box of email, right? Specific to email, there's a text box. Towards the right, you can see here, it will allow certain domain and it will block certain domain. Okay. So if you see, I have given, so it allows only a list again. So I have given these both as an allowing domains. So it's going to allow only Gmail and UiPath. And this is the syntax. This is also the same list of string. And I just kept Yahoo is something that I'm not gonna allow, right? So that's it. So it's quite simple. You have the property which is which helps you to allow the domain and which helps you to block the domain. Clear? That's quite simple, I guess. And then this is the most interesting feature actually. So let's say if you're giving an app to someone like external person, everyone will have a different format of giving you the data. Someone will give you in let's say if you're talking about date time, someone will give you DD or MMM, something like that, or some in different formats. But if you wanted to have a streamlining for that, if you wanted to have a, you know, certain way of restriction of certain format, then definitely this particular concept will help you. So same thing, I've just taken the text box. Inside the text box, you have a property called input mask. Okay, you have a property called input mask. So in the input mask, you can give the pattern that you allow. Okay, so the three things that you have to remember here. The first thing is the format that you want the user to enter. Okay, so let's say you want the user to enter only of the country India. So you'll provide +91, and you are restricting all other countries, right? And in this particular format only, right? So there is a certain way that you write the number, and this is the format that you want the user to enter in. And the next thing is mask character. So what the mask character actually does is, so let's say I'm giving underscore. That means whatever the user enters will be placed, will be the replacement of underscore. Okay, so wherever there is, let me show you. So let's say I'm entering over here. First thing is I'm giving some value. So if you see, only the value that's there in the underscore got replaced with the numbers. All other things were constant, right? So even if I remove, I cannot remove anything apart from the numbers. So see, clear? So whatever the value that you wanted to mask with, that value you should give it as the mask character. So it will mask underscore with the value that you enter. Okay, so that is one thing. And accept. So if you see here, we have, it's going to accept 0 to 9. That means if it's a phone number, we are not allowing any alphabets, right? So we are going to allow only the numeric. Even though if you don't provide any value, the generic one will be numeric, but I am providing 0 to 9. If at all you have any feasibility, or if you wanted to keep it restricted, you can provide the values like A to Z and all of that. Okay, so that's about the input mask. So let's have a small interaction again. So let's say I'm not gonna show you what I have masked, what is the mask character for date and time, but you guys should guess what would be the mask character for date and time. So here you can see the pattern that I've given is DDMM, YYYY, HH and MM. So what is the mask character you will provide for date and time? So the data that you have entered will be in the certain format. Okay. I'll just quickly show you here as well, so you guys can get some understanding. Okay. So if you see here, see, I'm just entering the number, right? So when I'm entering the number, only underscore got replaced, right? Only underscore got replaced. So that's why my mask character is underscore. And here, okay, in the date and time, I want my date and time to go into, so let's say 28/09/1993, and the time is 20:45. Okay, so what all the things got replaced, those will be the mask character. Okay, so now just think what all the characters you want to mask and what you want to keep as it is. What you want to mask and what you want to keep as it is. Someone guessed right. Only one person I can see in the chat. Lakshman, okay. Chandrika, okay. Okay, so Lakshman and Chandrika, you guys guessed right, but we don't need to keep DDMMYY whole together, but we can just directly give, DMYH, right? Because it's just about the character. So let's say if you see here, I want to replace underscore. So I didn't give all the underscore. I just gave only one underscore. In the same way, if I want to replace DDMMYY, I'll just give DMY and H, right? So let's go to input mask. I'll replace only D, M, Y, and H. That will replace this DD, MM, this, and this. Got it? Clear? Any questions? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. So that's it. These are the different features that we have for UiPath VB apps. So we just talk about the features till now. So I also wanted to show you one use case. I'll quickly show you that. And after that, we will see how we can actually publish the apps and how we can make it external. And I'll also give you the link that you can access my app, okay, that I have created, how you can actually access in your local, right? So till now, we were just restricting that into our organization level. But I'll give you the link where you can access my app, which I have created. So before to that, okay, do you want to see the app first, public app first? Okay, so first let's go ahead and create one app. Okay, so let's keep the enthusiasm. So public app demo. Okay, so I'm just going inside. I hope you guys have seen how I created an app. Okay, so there's an option, okay, that how we can actually make it public. If at all we don't check it there, let me go back and show you. It will not take much time. Okay, so if you see here, I'm creating a new app. There's an option called public app. So I didn't check this when I'm creating it. So what I'll do, there's one more option inside. Okay, so once after you come here, let's say if you are someone like me who forget while creating the app, then for people like us, UiPath has given one more, choice that we can go inside manage access and we can check public app. So then it will be it can be published and made as public. Okay, great. Now let's do a small thing. I'm just gonna add one header. Just pull the header over here, style it a little bit, keep it in center. Then which color you want? Red is fine. Any color preferences? I'm not that much good at styling, so you can just give me some ideas. Okay, so let's keep it bold and change the header to something like testing public apps. Okay, we're testing the public apps. Okay, so just this much is enough. Now we will see how we can publish this and how you can access this. Okay, so it's quite simple. I'm publishing the app. Okay, so every time when we deploy the code, we have that description where we will write what are the changes we have made. So let's say first commit. This is just for our understanding what has changed. So I just clicked on publish. Okay, this is loading and this is getting published. Oh, what did I do? I opened another one. Okay, so but yeah, this is published. So once after we publish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to my orchestrator. Okay, so in the orchestrator, so meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. My team who will be available can take up your questions. Yeah, it takes some time. It will take some time to load. This is a usual thing because it's on cloud, right? So it will take some time to load. Okay, good. So we have come to the orchestrator. And here I will, are you all excited to get the app that I have just published? Yes, no? To be frank, when I have seen the public apps feature, I was super excited. I was telling all my friends, just try if you can access this. So are you all excited? Yes, no? Yes, nice. See, this is actually testing our patience. Okay, we are here. So in the apps, you can just go over here in the apps and yeah, there's an option called add process. Okay. Okay, there is okay. So in the apps, there's a option called deploy app. So click on it. Click once after you click on that, you can see all the apps that you have published. Okay. So what are all the apps that you have published? So just now I have published public apps demo. Just click on it, and then if you give the name, it will come up as it is. Otherwise, it will just take whatever the name that you give over here. Okay, just click on next. And also I wanted to tell about these things, right? We will talk about them after this. Okay, just remember that there are a lot of other things also. It's not as easy as we think. There are other permissions. Because we are giving our app to someone, we also have to be careful what they do that will affect our orchestrator, right? So there are permissions as well, but it's not so simple. This is the first step. Okay, so let's take next and then deploy. Unable to deploy already. Okay, so maybe something I've created already must be here. So I'm just gonna delete it quickly. Okay, just deploy it again. Okay, so just rename it public app. Fine, deploy. Okay, so now we've got the URL. So I just want you all to show some keen attention over here. How do we identify this? If you see here, this is my production URL. First thing, production URL. And the next thing is, here we can say it's a public. The production URL that I have created for my app, I have made it public. Okay, so now I'm going to share this app to you. I'll just give you some, I'll give you some 3 minutes. Okay, quickly check from your side if you can access this. I have given the link in the chat. Quickly access this and let me know. Working? You could able to see what you could see on the screen? Can someone comment what you could see on the screen? Name and feedback. Name and feedback. Okay. Okay, fine. Which app URL that I've given you guys? Okay. Okay, cool. It is saying you don't have permissions. I think we have to delete one app and then recreate because it's not loading. Just we'll go back and do it. The problem is, I think I have created an app with the same name. So this is also a learning, right? Public app. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the apps. Okay. So here, so here I've already, okay. So this should be something that you should be viewing, but it's not the case, right? So what I will do is, some people might be viewing this one, name and feedback, right? So this is also a public app, which I have done it in the same way. If in any ways, if you can see this app, that's good, because this is something that we are going to see next. Okay. So what I'll do is I will change the name of it. Okay, so we also have the option to change the name. So how can we do that? The same way. First, I'll just show first demo. Let's rename this, and then let's go to the main page. And then this is my public app demo. Okay, so I think a few of you guys could able to see this, which is name, feedback, and all, right? So now what we will do is, this is simple. The same way we will actually publish the app. So can someone confirm you could able to see that name, feedback, and demo? Working. So I see a lot of responses saying working. So nice. Now what I'm going to show is, let's create a one more app. So I have one more app called Feedback Queue app, which again I have published it. Okay. So if you see here, I have this app. Okay. So I'll just do a preview of it. Errors in app. What's the error? Feedback queue. Okay, just add it. Okay, I'll show you the step by step of this so you can learn what I am doing and how did I do this as well. Okay, so it's quite simple. You don't have to do a lot of things because VB Apps has made this so easy. Okay, so I'll just quickly copy paste this values as well. I'll show you how we are doing this. Don't worry. This is just for showing you a demo. Okay, so if you see this particular app, Feedback Queue app, is something that I'm talking about the permissions. So the first thing is, we all know how to publish an app, right? So just directly publish and then you deploy the app, it will be there for the public. But if at all you wanted to publish something like where we have an issue with, storage bucket, images, and all of that, then you cannot do it directly. You need to have some permissions because storage bucket and all of these things or something which is specific to the organization. So if you see here, there's an image, there's some value. So let's say I'm giving Harika and my mail ID. Okay. And then my feedback. I like your UiPath videos. Okay. So just clicking on submit. So if you say successful, thank you for your feedback. And also what I have actually done, this feedback will go into my orchestrator. So let's open orchestrator and it will be saved in the queue. So I will surely publish this one to you in next 5 minutes. So you all can, enter your feedback also, which will come into my queue. So if you see here in the queues, I have my feedback queue. Okay, so I'm just checking the values. So this is new, right? I like your UiPath videos. Perfect. So now I'll quickly share this to you before I actually, let you know how we can actually do this, right? So I will give you the link of this particular app. So you can try to access it and let me know if it's accessible for you. Okay. So this is,
Sorry, Harika.
yes,
It's already 9. So
sorry.
it's 5 minutes left, Harika. So it's
Yes,
already
yes,
9.
I
Yeah.
will give the demo. Yeah. So this is feedback queue app, right? So we will be taking the feedback queue app link from here. Just copy this and I'm going to provide this in the chat. So you guys can tell me if you can able to access this and see this. Yes, no, yes, nice. So thank you, Manisha, for confirming. So now I want one more activity also. Can you guys try submitting the feedback if it's possible to you from your side? You can try to give some values. If at all you could able to give without error, let me know in the chat. Getting error, right? So why you are getting error is because that's what I'm going to show you now. These are the permissions that you need to have in order to submit. And also, if I'm not wrong, you should not be able to see the image. This image, is it loaded for you? Is that image loaded for you? Yes, no? It's loaded. Okay. No, for few people, yes, we can see the same. Okay. But you are not able to submit. Okay, fine. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to the orchestrator. Okay, so there are some permissions that we have to keep in mind. So what are those permissions? Or there are two types of permissions. One is listen to these permissions carefully. So one is public app tenant role. Okay, so one is public app tenant role that we have to give it at the tenant level, and the second one is public app folder role. So, and also you have to be administrator to do these roles, to give these roles. So at the tenant, I'm going to give public app tenant role. So I'm going to manage access. Okay. And here in the manage access, my feedback queue app is there, right? So feedback queue app. This is my app. So if you see here, I'm going to go to assign roles. And then here, I'm going to type UiPath apps. So here's, if you see, these are all the deployed apps, right? So I'm going to my feedback queue app. And then I'm going to add one role, which is public app tenant role. You should give the tenant role. Okay, you should provide this role. Clear? Public app tenant role and public app folder role. Okay, so the tenant role has been given. And how do we give the folder role is we should go to the folder. Okay, just right click, go to settings, manage folder access. And here you have to do the same thing. UiPath apps. And here in this UiPath queue app, feedback queue app. And here, so it's already assigned. So let's edit. And here I'm giving folder role, right? So I'm giving the folder role. So once after that the role is there, it is done. But you will not have these roles by default for you. So you have to create the role. So how do you create is click on the new role and provide some role name. Public app folder role. Okay, so here what all the things that you have to select is clearly provided in the documentation. I'll provide you the link for that as well. So if you see here, for folder role here, public app folder role, you have to set these things as it is. Okay, so you can view the queue item, you can create the queue item like that. Okay, so for tenant role, you have to do all of this. Okay, clear? How do we do this is clear, right? Okay. Next. So once after that's done, you can create the role and you can add up the role over there. So there are two roles, public app tenant role and the public app folder role. So first you should create the role and then you should add the roles to your particular app. Then you can actually publish it and you can let the users add it. So, so that's all about it. Just a second where I can give you this. So this is about the things that you have to consider. Okay, so I also have one more use case with me. So it's clear, right? How do we do public apps and all? So there's one more use case about, so these are the basic things that we can learn about setting the permissions and creating. And also not just this, UiPath has provided us a lot of more, you know, privileges. So I'll just show you one small app that I've created, which will help us to understand how to what extent we can develop the apps using UiPath VB apps. Okay, so the app is loading. I'll not take much time. I'll finish it up in next 5 minutes. Okay, so if you see here, this is actually the app that I've created for tracking the budget. So let's say if you are going for a trip, okay, and if you have some budget allocated for you, which is 3 lakh, Okay, and whenever you do a purchase, you wanted to add that into expenses, and if you wanted to check the balance every time, okay, you can just click on this check available balance. Okay, so once after you click, you can see amount spent till now is 84,000 and available balance 2,15,000. Okay, and let's say usually we will assume, right, like how what all I spent for 84,000. So you always get this when you click on show all expenses, it will take you to a page where you can see all the details in clear. Okay, and this also provides you the visibility to search. So let's say for food, okay, how much I've spent for food, 900, 200. And if you wanted to add any item, you can also add it from here. So let's say food, I just wanted to add 1,000 more. Okay, save it. Okay, you can see that it got added, and you can just come back, and here 1,000 should be increased, right? So click available, check available balance, you can see it got auto updated. But without VB apps, when we used to do with legacy, we used to connect with the workflow that we create in the studio, we should deploy that in orchestrator, and the connection that we establish to run it and to display here would be so longer. But with VB apps, everything that I've created over here is using VB apps. With VB apps, we can make it so simple, and it's also super fast. And not just that, I'll also show you some other thing. So let's say you have added 1,000 rupees, and now let me, okay, so let's say I'm adding from here also. This one I haven't shown you, right? So let's say I'm adding something like a charger. Okay, I have bought a charger for, okay, I think charger is already there. Let's say I have went for a movie. Okay, went for a movie and it costed me 500 rupees. I'm just adding into the expenses, and then we can see successfully it got added into the exception list, and we can, sorry, expenses list, and we can see them all the time over here. Let's filter this out with the, what is it, movie. Okay, so we can see that over here. And then at any time, if you wanted to edit this, you can edit it directly from here. Like you can just click on this edit button, and then you can just change this to 600 or something like that, and then you can save it, and then you will see now all the items coming up. And if you wanted to delete it, any item you don't want, you can delete them as well, right? So you can say successfully deleted. And now if you go ahead and see shoes, it will not be there anymore because we have deleted that item, right? So all these things, whatever I have shown you on the screen, I have developed using UiPath VB apps alone. And you can see this is super fast and super easily accessible, right? And the even the UI, this is the first time I've developed an app, like a, in a full-fledged way, not for using only for demo purpose or something like that, but something which we can actually make use of, right? So usually we will tend to forget our expense, so I thought this will be something a real time, right? So that's how I have developed. So if at all you wanted to learn this use case end to end, there's a complete video already there on my channel. You can just check out the channel for step-by-step tutorial as well, where I've did it in the 3 parts. So you, that will give you enough understanding of how you can do this and what is a back end, like the database where I've stored all these details, how it's happening, and each and every information I've clearly provided in my YouTube channel. So you can just check out, that will be super easy. I think you all will love it. Okay, yeah, where data got stored, the data is stored in the data service. I have used the data service as the database. Storage bucket, not storage bucket,
Harika.
it's in the data service. Yes, I think
Harika,
I
it's
think I've
9:10.
covered, yes, I think I've covered everything that I targeted to. Maybe if I've gone a bit fast, then I'm sorry for that, but my intention was to cover everything. And if you have any questions, we are open for the questions. You can just put that in chat. We'll take some 2 minutes for questions. Vineela? Yes.
Yeah, that would be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
but first of all, it's a really appreciated, Harika. So many of us learn VB apps. It's a very new topic. Most of the people at least started doing practice, even started creating their apps and asking many doubts here.
Yeah.
So that's really
Yes.
awesome session by you. And yeah, Thank you so much. Any questions, guys, you can chat, or Harika has 2 minutes time to take, and then we can proceed for, my team will proceed for the next items. Yeah.
Yes. Does the app have compatibility with mobile view? Yes, I have already created one mobile app as well. So I've shown you clearly like how you can do the app that you have created, how you can check that compatibility with mobile, and how you can change the views and everything, and what are the properties that you have to enable to get it compatible with mobile as well. So as I mentioned, we cannot cover everything on the same session, but yeah, if at all you are interested, there's already video up on my channel. My team has provided the link for my YouTube channel. You can just check out there. If at all you have any questions, you can reach out anytime on my LinkedIn profile. How to update a value which is already there in the data service? Yes, we have an activity called update entry in the data service. So that's there. If you check out that video where I have a step-by-step tutorial on the use case, you will understand that. Sometime more. Anyhow, we see in your YouTube channel. Thanks for can moderators. Thank you, Satish. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you. Also, we can connect the app with the external database. Um, for external database, Amit, we can do it by using the we can do it by using the studio, but right now within the apps, we cannot directly connect it with the external database, but only with the data service. Right now, we have that capability. If at all you want more, clarity on that front, like how do we do this and all, as of now, it's not feasible. Maybe we have to wait for some time so that, we'll see some more updates on that. And any more questions? That the solution is to be accommodating changes in the business process. So again, yeah, apps is something that is flexible with respect to VB expressions that you have seen, that we try to keep it more dynamic, that till now whatever we have seen, right? So if at all there are changes in the business process, it again depends on what kind of change and how much it affects the actual process. So it depends on the type of the change, I can say. Yeah, but most of the things, when we compare with the legacy, we have that feasibility to keep it as dynamic and as flexible as possible. PPT, yes, PPT will be shared on the community channel itself, where my team is posting the link. It's very informative. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Sandeep. Handle data integration and communication between other systems. So yes, the data integration and the communication we can handle in two ways. One is by using the controls that we have in the UiPath apps itself, and the other thing is by connecting that with the studio's applications. Thank you, Shiva. Okay, I think we have only 15 minutes. If at all we've answered every question, what is that, or the specific design principles or guidelines? See, if at all we are doing any coding, definitely we have to follow some guidelines, but yeah, if at all you go to the documentation page, I'll surely share the link in the chat, so you can just check out that particular link for all the guidelines that UiPath provides to be followed for apps. So we have to follow some guidelines, right? Yeah. I think we can go ahead with quiz because we are running short of time. I hope we
That's a
answered all the
wonderful
questions.
session, Harika.
Thank you. Thank you, Vineela.
Everyone is parallelly doing the things also with you
Yeah.
during the session. It's really interesting.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
shall we
tried to keep
move to
it
the
as
quiz?
interesting as possible. Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone is ready, I think, for quiz. The people who are having doubts, please do message on LinkedIn to Harika's LinkedIn. We provide on the chat.
Yes.
You can see. So everyone, please ready for the quiz. We are sharing the link on the chat board.
I will share my screen also. Shall I share my
Yes,
screen now?
Harika. Yes, Harika.
Yeah. Visible, right?
Yes, Harika. Um, we provided the Mentimeter link on the chat board.
And you can also see the QR code on the screen.
Yeah, the people who are looking for the scanner, here it is. And we're also providing the link in the chat board and the code also. The code is 46373138. Hurry up, guys. We are seeing 17 people. The code is, again, I'm saying 46373138.
And also, if you guys loved the session, you can talk about what you have loved, what you enjoyed throughout the session. On the LinkedIn page, you can tag me, Nikhil, Vineela, Spandana. So that will give us a lot of motivation as well, because we all try to deliver the best for you guys. So we would love to hear your feedback on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurry up, guys.
22 people joined, I think.
Hmm.
We'll give some 2 more minutes.
Yes. We'll start the
Can
quiz
everyone
at
access it,
20.
or is anyone facing any issue? Nikhil, can you check if anyone is facing an issue, because I see very less people joined in the.
The people who are looking for the scanner, here it is. And the people who are looking for the link, it's in chat board. Please go to the chat board. Please enter the code also. Yeah, we are waiting for 1 more minute. 1 more minute, then we will start the quiz.
Only 28 people are ready for the gifts. What about the rest?
Yes. 52 participants. Come on, everyone.
33,
Yeah.
nice. If gifts
Yeah.
are the ones that's being enthusiastic about, then we would like to give more gifts. Nice. Quick. Anyone facing any issue, you can put it in the chat. Our team will try to help you out.
Yes. If anyone facing any issue, please ping on the chat. Yeah, it's good to go, Harika, I guess. Or we will gonna wait 1 more minute.
Okay, so I am gonna start, right? Everyone's ready?
Come on, everyone. Goodies are waiting for you.
37, I see.
Hmm.
Okay, let's start.
Yes.
Okay.
Here is the first question. We go.
You could see the question?
No,
No?
no, no, not yet.
No.
No, not yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am gonna 40, 41. Nice. Nice, nice.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna start now. This has given me some push. Okay.
Come on,
Okay,
guys.
let's start.
Let's ready. Yeah, first question, here it is. And here is the options.
Which property of the text box is used to streamline the input text entered? Input mask, hint text, default text, tooltip. We have discussed this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice.
16 people. Okay.
Nice. Want to know who did the first? Runanas. Okay.
Runanan.
Preeti, Sharvani, Nikhil. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Ready? Syntax to fetch the selected item from the drop down. Okay, you have 40 seconds. Try to read the options correctly and select the answer. You have a lot of time. Page dot drop down dot. You have like lot of time. You just think about it and answer.
Come on, everyone.
29.
Okay.
Super, super,
Oh.
nice. Okay, let's see who did first.
Hmm. Oh, again.
Wow, nice.
Again, Runaraj.
Nice. So let's
Okay.
go to the next question. Okay, yeah. Oh, 44 players. How to fetch the value of the data entered in the text box in VB apps? From the text box, how do we fetch the value in VB apps? You have a lot of time. Think and answer. Okay, so time's up. 17 members gave the right answer. So value binding will be used in the legacy, not in VB apps. Nice. So let's get to the next one. The leaderboard says, wow, wow, the places have changed. Nice. I can see some new names coming up. Okay, great. Next. Fourth question. Do we have the feasibility to change the visibility of controls dynamically in VB apps? Yes or no? Very fast. Nice. 34 right answers. Super. Yeah. So let's go to the next question. And the leaderboard.
Who is this time?
Wow.
Again.
Runanas. Again,
Yeah.
he's leading. I think I've
It's great.
spelled your name right. I don't know. Okay. So I think it's the last question. Let's see who is the winner. Select all the roles needed for the public facing app. What are all the roles that we need for the public facing app? Perfect. 16 people have answered it correctly. Nice. So now let's see who is leading and who is the winner.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nice. Congratulations, Runanas. You can just pass your mail ID to the team. You can put it
Yeah.
in the chat. And also, I think the next one also, right? Mars.
Yes, there are two winners.
Yes. Okay. Nice.
Please
Maybe
share
you
your
can
all
collect.
details on the yeah. We are providing the email ID here. So please